hello. Welcome to Cookie Decorating Live, weekly live stream where we focus on all things cookies. I'm Hani, your host, and also a founder of HaniAlmas.com. In this episode, we're going to do another Halloween cookie set. Well, it's not a set, but I'm going to show you one cookie. And we're going to make cute Halloween bear cookies. If you remember a few weeks ago, we did a bit of a scary version. Let me show it to you. And so I wanted to dial it down a little bit because you guys wanted to see something cute. So today we're going to make a cute version inspired by candy corn. So welcome everyone. If you are new to the live stream, we go live every Wednesday. You can tune in on Facebook or YouTube, whichever you prefer. On YouTube, however, I think you're able to see the description box where I also list all the tools, recipes, and tutorials that I mentioned in the live stream. If you enjoy the live streams, you can support the live stream numerous ways. One, you can sign up for the newsletter. You can join my subscription group on Patreon. There is also a coffee live stream membership, YouTube membership, and as always, you can go through the template shop and recipes there and support me through there. All right, so let's see who is here today. Hello, Byron. Always nice things to say. I really appreciate you, your kindness. Thank you, Byron. Hello, Kathy. How is it going? Let me know what's the weather like where you guys are. We finally had some rain this week, which we really needed. And yesterday we saw a rainbow, and today we saw a double rainbow, so it was fantastic. Hello, Sally. Hey, how is it going with trees turning color? Oh, I love this time of the year. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Long Beach, California. Hi, Linda. How is it for you? You must have a beautiful fall, I think, right? Everything is colorful and just beautiful. Hey, Jay. How is it going? Well, it's fantastic. Oh, sorry, the meeting got canceled, but I'm so glad to see your name pop up. Hi, Angie. Chile in Wisconsin. Yeah, we've had some, when we lived in States, we had friends and they had family in Wisconsin. And I remember vividly them saying how cold it gets in the wintertime. So try to stay warm. Hello, Vanessa. Good morning to Texas. So we're gonna dive in, and I wanted to also mention those of you who are new to the live stream, raise your hand. I want to see you. Come on into the comment section. There's always lots of fun happening there. Let me grab, here it is. This is the link to the newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter and you will get notified when we go live about 60 minutes before. Hello, Beatrice, UK. Hello. So we are on the same, I believe we are in the same time zone. All right, so the link is there. And today, as always, I am using recipes that you can find on my blog, HaniAlmas.com. And can you guys believe this is our 234th episode? What a ride, right? I mean, we thank you for being here with me every week. All right, let's get started. All right, I just wanted to put the recipe for royal icing. I always get questions about that. The recipe for the royal icing I am using, it is on the blog as well. Linda, lovely colors. Oh, that's nice. 12 degrees of Celsius. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Hello, is it Elaine? Am I saying it correctly? Hello? All right, so the recipe is in there, but it didn't publish to Facebook, so I don't know what's going on. Let me know if you guys can see me on Facebook. Strange, but stranger things can happen in the past. So let's get started. Let me bring up the screen where we can see how we can make the noses. All right, I have a few things prepared, and then we're gonna be decorating live. So this is pre-recorded. Obviously, you don't see me decorating, but it helps to get moving, and I can show you everything that needs to be done. So here's my template for the noses. I don't know if you noticed it, but it is upside down, actually. Narrow part should be kind of facing up. So what I did there, I put a zigzag line in the middle of the shape, and then I let it cross. This is to mitigate cratering. If you're not having problems with cratering, you don't need to use this technique. But this is a method that has been used for many years now, and it does work. And then I'm using about 20-second consistency icing here, especially if you want to kind of pile it up, if you want to have like a puffy icing, puffy look. If your designs require puffy look, I suggest that you do the skeleton method or the support beam zigzag line in the middle. And then you can pipe directly. What I didn't mention, those of you who are new and you don't know what these are, we are making royal icing transfers. So royal icing, it's a medium made out of egg whites and powdered sugar, essentially. And so when it dries pretty hard. And in this case, we are piping on an acetate sheet, which this is a clear, smooth protector sheet, and I've got it taped onto the plexiglass. So I've got a nice flat surface underneath, so it dries really flat. If you don't have acetate, you can use parchment or wax paper, but those tend to absorb some moisture from royal icing, and they will kind of warp underneath, and so your underside is not going to be as smooth. Once your layer is crusted, we can add the triangle at the very top, the little nose, and then we can do the mouth. And again, the black icing is about 20-second consistency here. You can see I turned it other way around, so this is the correct way. And now we can do the mouth. This is about piping consistency here with my black, and I've got a piping bag fitted with 1.5. And after probably 8 to 12 hours, you can remove these from the acetate and store them pretty much indefinitely. Just make sure you store them away from direct moisture or sunlight. Moisture will start softening the royal icing, and then sunlight will fade the colors. All right, so we've got the noses ready. You guys try to behave in the comment section. Love you. Hello, Eileen. Hello. Is it Aileen or Eileen? I see you on Facebook a lot. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. All right, so now I'm gonna bring in my cookie here. Let's switch the cameras. All right, there we go. So I use the same shape as before. This is the cutter. This is a pretty standard shape cutter, I think. This is a cutter, I believe this was made by Wilton. I've had this for many, many years. This was a nesting set. So I have like a tiny little bear, teddy bear cookie, and I have a giant one also. I don't know how many, I think there are maybe 3 or 4 different sizes. So I really like this size. And that's what I used in this tutorial. And I also made a template. You didn't think I did, right? But you know how much I like templates. It's very similar. It's pretty much the same kind of as the one I did for the scary bear, except I added lines for the candy corn. So that's about the difference of those two. And now we're going to use yellow marker. I'm just going to trace these guys on my cookie here. And this, when I said yellow marker, this is not a marker that you would use. In the office. This is a marker that is designed to be used with food. So it's filled with food color, and it's perfectly fine to use on cookies. And those of you who have questions, you can pop them into the comment section. I am going to be checking the comment section frequently. All right, so now we're going to, I need to cut my bag because I just prepared my icing actually. So the way I like to do it with the seamless, with a tipless bag, there is a seam in the middle. Ideally, you want to have a really nice clean seam. If it's a flat, that's an indicator that you might have to use a piping tip because that flap is going to interfere with the way icing is coming out. Okay, so press it down the middle and then make a small opening. It's always better to make a small opening. Don't cut it here, this is too big, or don't cut it on an angle. You can always make it bigger. One thing I want to remind you or tell you about, it's always look for that little snippet of the plastic. You don't want it to accidentally fall on your cookie, and then you add the icing over it, and somebody who's going to eat it is going to come across a piece of plastic. So that's not nice. So what I'm going to do, remember when we did the noses, I did the zigzag line in the middle. So I'm going to do that here as well. So this way we can mitigate cratering in these tiny little sections. And we're going to add some icing onto the ears. And I'm just going to spread it. Hola, Astrid. All right. So now since we have all this in place, we can start working on the candy corn. Now, candy corn here in Spain, I'm in Spain, those of you who don't know. We did live in States for many, many years, 20-something years, but we moved to Spain 4 years ago, and you can't find candy corn here. Yeah, so it's not something that you can find here, but I just love the color palette. And I have to say, I always struggle with the order of color, so I always have to look it up. So I've got here ready my white, yellow, and orange. So we're gonna start with the yellow. I also have to cut these bags. And guys, I wanna also tell you we have 1 more week left, and then it's a race towards all the fun holidays. All the holiday season is here. Time change also is approaching, so the days are gonna get shorter and shorter, which I'm not a fan of, but we can't help it. All right, let me get the scribe. So let's start with the yellow. And I am using about 15-second consistency icing here. So this is my flood. When doing the outline, I try not to squeeze the piping bag too much, so there's not a lot of icing coming out, so I don't overdo it. And then I can squeeze more, the more icing is coming out as I'm trying to fill this area. Yeah, I know. No candy corn. I think there are some, there's a store we went to. It's in a city close by. It's called Taste of America. I think they had candy corns there, but I couldn't justify spending like 10 or 15 euros on a bag. So that, yeah, it's quite expensive if you can get something like that. Now, I'm not gonna wait for the icing to crust or dry, so I'm adding my orange right after. And now as I go close to the edge of the yellow, I'm increasing the pressure, so more icing is coming out. As you can see, I've got a thicker line there. And now we can switch to white. Are you guys planning on making something with gingerbread this year? I love this time of the year when I can bake more stuff with gingerbread houses, gingerbread decorations. All right, so we've got the candy corn in place. Now I can see that this is not crusted yet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you another screen here. We're going to play a little video dance. All right, so let's go here and then we can. So the bottom on this cookie is crusted, the zigzag line, so I can pipe over it. When it's not crusted, it's not going to really give you the same effect. So the idea is that the crusted line, the zigzag line, it's going to support that icing that you're piping on top of it. Hence, it's going to prevent cratering or just going to mitigate dimpling or, you know, I don't know if you ever had craters in your icing, but they are such a nuisance. So this is a way to eliminate that. Yes, Linda, I totally agree. I mean, we are at our, yes. I mean, for you, you are really north. So for you, that must be, I don't know, when does it get dark for you? Like when the time change on Sunday. So here, I think sunset is 7:15 now. But I know where my parents are, it gets dark at 4 in the afternoon, which is really early. And it can be so depressing, especially if the weather it's not nice, if it's always cloudy. So in a way, I'm very lucky because here we have pretty much guaranteed blue sunny skies every day. I mean, today it rained, but we needed the rain. It doesn't rain here much. All right, so that's how you do the bottom. And now we have to let this crust again so we can get the arms and the head in and also the rest of the legs. So let me remove this screen and I'm going to bring up my little camera here. All right. So I'm going to set this aside because this has to crust, but I've got one that, oops, let me do the dance. I've got one that it's, this is fully dry, but it doesn't have to be fully dry for you when you're decorating. You just need it to be crusted. So set it on a flat tray. If you're doing a dozen cookies, by the time you're done with the last one, your first one is going to be crusted, most likely. All right, so now we have to, I'm going to ice this section here, and we can do the arms, and then you have to wait again, because this section is going to be wet. So if you add the head right away, it's going to blend together. So if you want nice definition there, we have to wait for it to crust. So this is a multiple step, multiple decorating. There are multiple decorating steps in this one. Let me cut this back. Wow. Oh, that is insane. About 1:30. So it's like it's dusk at 1:30. That is very dark, yeah. So I don't blame you. Hopefully, I think the time will, I think it's what, December 21st? Is that the time when is that the winter solstice? Is it 21st? I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, but right. So now I'm going to use slightly lighter shade of this lovely brown. I don't know if you can see this, but this is darker. I use that on the bottom. and then also on the ears, and then the lighter shade is going to be for the body and the arms and the head. Now you need to use your scribe tool and shape the icing. I want to shape the icing around the bottom of the foot here, so we can drag it while it's still wet with a scribe tool. You can kind of pull the icing around and make it flush with the bottom of the foot. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. Okay, Jeremy, we are here to listen. We are here to listen. See, I'm in the comment section with one eye. I can see everything. Linda using, well, it's we have like 4 hours of full the daylight in the middle of winter. What do you do during those 4 hours? What do you get? Do you always try to get outside, or like that is such a short period. Okay, Jeremy, we are waiting for the exciting news. All right, so let's do the other side. Now, when I'm starting at this point here, I'm trying not to squeeze the bag too much. I don't want a lot of icing coming out. And remember, we can always use the scribe tool to get the icing into those hard to reach areas. Now, when I'm coming around the yellow, I'm squeezing the bag a little more, so more icing is coming out, so I don't have a gap there. But as I'm coming towards the end, I'm releasing the pressure. Same here, I'm squeezing the bag a little more. All right, so that's the bottom. Let's see. We're going to do the arms. So we've got same icing. Let's do the other side. So at this point, you have to let the icing crust again. So I've got one that is fully crusted. That I need to add for the ears, because we're going to pipe. We're going to leave this area here uniced, right? So the area around it, it's quite narrow. So again, we could add a little zigzag line there to help mitigate cratering, like so. I'm going to slide it over. This base needs to rest. All right. I also wanted to, because I didn't do that in the beginning, I think I forgot, as usual. And I wanted to mention those of you who are on a Patreon to take advantage of the past tutorials for the fall. These are table setting cookies. There's a set of fall-inspired designs and also a 3D mushroom wreath cookie. And then this is, I mean, Christmas is coming, holidays are coming. I hate to break it to you. So if you're planning you want to plan some new designs, you can check out also these. These are from last year. Let's see. Okay, I am. Thank you, Eileen. I lost track of the convo here, but I hope everybody is. What's $1,500? Okay, somebody fill me in. DoorDash. What's a DoorDash? Okay. So now we're going to do the head with the eyes and everything. I'm going to be doing eyes with wet on wet technique. So we're going to need white icing, black icing, and also I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a while, which is we're going to make the area under the eyes slightly darker than the face. So if you need a little help, you can use a marker to get you situated so you don't have to second guess yourself. And I'm going to be using my flat consistency I think I used for the body and for the upper leg, I could say. All right. Now with the scrub, we can smooth the icing. And now let's figure out where we want the eyes. So I guess here and here. I'm going to, oops, that disappeared really quickly, huh? So I'm going to add, this is the slightly darker, this is that darker icing we used on the bottom part of the foot or the leg, foot, leg, whatever that is down the bottom, So now I'm going to add black. All right. And then we can add white reflection. Ideally, your icing should be about the same consistency as your base, and you need to do it right after you ice the face. So your icing is fluid enough to take this icing and so it sinks in, so it's not sitting on top of it. Now for the reflection, no, the eye is done wet on wet. We're not waiting for it to dry. That's the beauty of you don't have to wait for it. So now for the reflection, you can do it straight from a bag. If you're afraid to do it, you can use, I'm gonna attempt to do it straight from a bag. Let's see if I see, okay, it is coming out. Right, and for a small dot, you can use your scribe tool and just pick up a small amount of icing. I need to take my glasses off for this so I can see, and now I have to put them on. All right, so now we can place it somewhere here. And let's do this on the other eye. I can get it. I think it's okay. All right, so that's how you can make the eyes. And at this point, I'm going to wait for this icing to crust, and then we can do the ears with the same color icing. Okay, now this is crusting. Here I've got one that is already done. Wow. Okay, so I suppose this is something about cooking and eating outside. I can't. Oh, this is so long. Okay, guys. I love the eyes. Thank you. Thank you, Melody. Yes, so the eyes are wet on wet, right? If you need to practice, you can do this on piece of wax paper to pipe some icing on there. The only thing is that I did differently is I added these darker dots underneath, and then you can use your scribe tool if it's kind of giving you a hard time. And then you do the wet on wet pupil, right? And then white for the reflection. Now I'm just going to do one large dot with white. Yeah, so it's all wet on wet. So now I've got here one that is fully dry. This one has been sitting for a while. Let me just clean my hand. Okay. Angie struggles with the white dots. I always seem to mess them up. Have you tried the method with the scribe tool? When you pick up a small amount of icing. If that doesn't work, you can also do, you can pipe a little bit of white icing on the side. And let me do another one. Just you can pipe. Hopefully you can see this. So I'm adding the dark layer. Now let's drop it a little bit. And now like that. And now, since you mentioned that you struggle with the dots, if it's difficult to do it from using a piping bag, what you can do here is some white icing. So you can pick up a little bit of that white icing, and you can use it that way. You can make it that way. That way, you have to get more icing down. That helps. You just need to test what works for you, I suppose. Okay. Thank you, Beatrice. So, Linda. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Are they, don't tell, are they cut? Like, or is it a drop, like a drop cookie, or does she actually use a cutter? Starts in mid-November, stops just after New Year. Wow, what an amazing tradition. She loves to bake them, and so thin you almost get angry seeing them. So perfectly made. But it's fantastic. I love traditions like this. This is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. There are some special cookies that I will always make around Christmas time. Even if I don't like eat them a whole lot, but I do like to have them around. Linzer cookies are my favorite. What do I do with all the royal icing? What do you mean? I use it to decorate cookies, and if I have leftover, which is very seldom these days, you can freeze it. You can freeze it for later. I have a detailed tutorial on this subject on the blog. I've tested this several times, so you can check it out. It is a pretty lengthy post, but it is worth checking it out if you have a lot of leftover icing, freezing, or you can make transfers. That's another thing, how you can kind of use it up, make the transfers, because as you know, once the icing dries, you can store them for a very long time, months, years, if they're stored properly. But freezing is a good option, I think. You can also keep it in a refrigerator. Now, the meringue-based royal icing, that's the icing I am using, meringue-based. It generally keeps for at least 4 weeks, unless when you open the jar or whatever wherever you are storing them has a kind of like a sour smell. So that's an indicator that it's time to let it go and make a new batch. Otherwise, I have not had problems for at least 4 weeks. I prefer storing it in a fridge because it doesn't separate as severely. And you have to keep in mind that when stored in a refrigerator, everything kind of stiffens up a little bit. So you need to bring it to room temperature to make sure that your consistency it's correct, because it may seem straight from a fridge that it's too thick and you add liquid, and then when it kind of gets to the room temperature, it's very liquidy. So that's the one thing. So think about it. If you're decorating in the morning or in the evening, bring it out of the fridge in the morning so your icing is nicely warmed up to room temperature. Now it should be the same or about around the same consistency. If it's too runny, if it's runnier than your base, most likely you will have a crater in there. I know, strange, but that can also happen even with wet on wet. It can happen if your icing is too runny. So ideally, you want to have the same consistency or similar, 1 to 2 seconds different. I don't think it's going to make a difference, and then you can always use your scribe. If you see that it's not flattening, you can use, I call this a sewing machine, not like in a needle, when you're using a sewing machine. So going up and down, you can flatten it, but preferably use about the same consistency. I can do eyes. I mean, I struggle as well. I mean, I have to take my glasses off because I can't see a thing. She uses a cutter and makes 3,000 cookies. Oh God, okay. I need to meet her. This is amazing. Yes, I use the Wilton as well. I use Wilton. I still have Wilton, and that's what I've been using for many years. Although I have a different brand that I am dying to try, but we'll see when that will happen, when I run out of Wilton. All right, so here's my cookie. I think this is actually crusted, so you can see it's shiny, but it's not as shiny as when you first ice the cookie. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the ears. Can you guys see? Hopefully I can see a thing. I think eyes just really take practice, and if you practice on wax paper or parchment, and you just need to do it several times and trust yourself. If you're using a piping bag to put the reflection, make the opening on the piping bag small. Don't make it too big, because then you have a lot of icing coming out and the dot is going to be huge. So you have less control if you have a big opening there. Or you can make iris transfers. That's always an option. I love making iris transfers and just popping them on the cookies. Or if you don't want to be bothered at all, you can use pearls, black pearls. The only thing is you have to then, I suppose, advise your recipient that the eyes are quite hard, so they don't bite on them, and it doesn't doesn't harm their teeth, so they don't end up at the dentist. All right, so now we're going to use, I've got here, oh, I got to do the tiny little pumpkin, I forgot. We need to do this one as well. I forgot. All right, so we need to, I'm going to add some blush to our cute little bear. So you can glue your transfer like this, and your design would be partially finished. We still have to do the pumpkin, like I have to show you how to do. And so we're going to use, this is edible, a baby blush, like pink dust. It's not luster dust, so it doesn't have the same shine. It just has a nice color. So we're going to use it on the cheeks. Somewhere here. So that's plenty. You really need a small amount. You don't need a lot. And then use light circular motion to color the icing. Now, very important, icing needs to be dry for this to work. If it's not dry, it's not going to work. Now, with decorating bottle, or you can use, what is this called? Oh, God, it's for the cleaning of the lenses, like, I don't know. Somebody had a good name for it. So I'm going to remove the excess. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's a nice little detail. Okay, Kathy, I see you. I'm going to see. I find that after using royal icing for several hours, it gets thin and I have to remove it from the bag. Yeah, it could, yes, unfortunately, it can happen. And I figured out, I think it's actually the heat. I think from our hands. I think it does something to the icing. I've had that happen myself, but yeah, maybe stick it into the fridge for a couple minutes would help. I don't know, but I've had that happen. Yeah. We don't put cookies in trash. I'm not perfect at it on the first try. Then I'm No. Nobody's trash and failure. Nobody gets good by. You only get better when you fail. That's how I look at it. When I was starting out, I didn't know how to pipe a rose, and I watched videos and videos on YouTube. How do they do it? I was like, I can never get it done. And you start slow and you give yourself grace, and you can do it. That's fantastic. I love that tradition. All right, so we've got the cheeks. Now we're going to glue the nose, and then I can show you the cute little pumpkin. So the transfer is just going to be, you can use a scribe, or I like to shift it a little bit, shift the transfer so it goes all the way down to the surface. I'm moving it up so part of the eyes is slightly covered. And there. You could also add like a little bow or something onto the ears if you wanted to beautify it even further. Now I'm going to use cute little pumpkin. This is from a fall set, and we're going to use For this one, I decided to use granulated sugar, not sanding sugar, granulated sugar. And we're going to use slightly darker orange than we did for the candy corn. And then I've got some lovely green here for the stem. Oh, and we need black. Forgot about that. All right, so let's do the jack-o'-lantern. For this design, you can use anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in with black. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see better. And this is the same black I used for the eyes. You can see the color is sinking in. This is because we're doing wet on wet. Now with the scribe tool, you can still shape the icing, accentuate the points. All right, now I'm going to take a coffee filter and I'm going to put my cookie onto the coffee filter. I've got some granulated sugar here, and I'm just going to pour it on. Thank you for sharing that, Jeremy. All right, so now we're going to lift this up carefully. Now, shake it off. And here I've got some residue, and so I'm just going to brush this off the cookie so I can add my green layer. I'm going to set this aside. Clean this up a little bit. Okay. And now with the green, you certainly don't, Jeremy. Shake it off, shake it off. Yes, I was thinking it also. So now we're going to do the stem. And what I'm going to be doing, starting with kind of like a bulb shape, like when you do the teardrop shape, and we're going to prolongate it all the way to the end. I'm going to turn it over because I saw the seam was facing up, and I like it facing down, down the palm of my hand. All right. So now, where is my finished one? Here it is. So here is our cookie. All right, and now we can add. Now this is dry, keep in mind, this is dry. I made this a few days ago. So I'm just going to attach it. To attach it, we're going to use a little bit of icing. So we need to add icing on this section here. And there you have it. Oh, one more thing. I nearly forgot. Now, this is totally optional. I have these lovely sprinkles from Belton. These are Halloween sprinkles. Such a great variety. And this particular sprinkle caught my eye. It's a cute little pumpkin. So I'm going to a few of these out, and we're going to glue the pumpkin onto the bottom of the foot. So let's see if we can get there. Bad. Of course, now they won't come out. I've got that. Okay. Okay, I have two. Okay, I have enough. So we're going to use tweezers. And let's see if this one is nice. This one is a little broken off. I feel like, okay, it's gonna work. All right. So a little dot of icing on the bottom. Wow, you leave it in the fridge overnight and it's even more runnier. That is strange, I have to say. But at least you know how you are able to fix it. It's annoying. You have to remix it and add thicker icing to it. And then, of course, if you are trying to match the color, then it's a problem. That I have not had happen. I mean, when I put it in the fridge, usually it does thicken. Maybe a little more so it sticks. All right, and it's going to change the way this cute little bear looks. So a little pumpkin. Oh, this one is misshaped. Okay, let's find a better one. Oh, I think I got one. Okay. This one looks good. You could also do bats, but bats are not, I feel like they are not as cute as the pumpkins. So here are our cute little Halloween bear cookies. Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. So here are our finished cookies that we did today. The theme is Halloween, cute Halloween bear cookies. I hope nobody is scared or doesn't feel intimidated because these are quite simple to make. Oh, I think they are doable. I think, right? What do you guys think? I also wanted to share some of your work. Let's not forget about your wonderful cookies. And I've got Sally. Sally is so prolific in decorating. Look at this set. I love it. Love the cobwebs on the head and the dresses and the boot. And this is where here you go. Yin and yang. Okay, I can yin and yang for the golf. I love it. I have to say, Sally, I'm a little jealous because I don't have these cutters. I don't have this. I assume it's one cutter, right? Or is it two? Or is it two cutters? Or did you just flip it? I don't have these cutters. I want these cutters. And also, Sally made the cat from last week. Remember, we did the scary cat or like Halloween cat with fiery eyes. So thank you for sending the pictures. And I love this set you created. Fantastic. I love it. So thank you for that. Thank you for all your pictures. I see more comments. Thank you, Beatrice, Maria, Sally, Melody. Thank you, Eileen. Yes. Well, well, you made me. Hello, Linda. Thank you. Oh, Jeremy forgives you, Sally. Oh, guys, you're too funny, which is good. Funny is good. Thank you, Kathy. Also, I wanted to make sure that you know that if you are not planning or if you don't have time to decorate cookies for Halloween, you can also do something undecorated. I know this looks maybe a little creepy for some of you, but these are cookies that I made. These are maggots and eye cookies. They are not decorated, and I've got a tutorial on my YouTube channel, and link to the tutorial is in show notes and under this video, under the live stream. I don't know if it's available to you now or if it'll be, I think, available later on. Okay, so that's something you can also make for next week for Halloween. I also wanted to tell you that last year we talked about gingerbread already. This was the live stream a year ago, so we talked about all things gingerbread. And as I mentioned earlier, I absolutely love this time of the year because gingerbread is used a bit more. Not that it's not used throughout the year, but around holidays, it's just more popular. So you can use it for so many different projects. I have a lot of different projects already on my blog and also on my YouTube channel. You guys can check those out to get some inspiration going. And also, talking about gingerbread, if you need a gingerbread house template, these are available in my template shop. I have several different houses. This is a standard house. This this fall house. This is a tall house, and this is a kind of like a smaller version. So if you wanted to maybe make a village, like a gingerbread house village, you could use this one, this template, and create maybe 3-4 houses that would look really pretty on a table or a mantle. Yes, me too. Me too. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, I can't believe, but I feel like the October has been really long, I have to say. Like, we still have 1 week, and we have done, let's see what we did in October. So we did, remember, we did the haunted house, then we did ghosts, the second tutorial for the October for Halloween. Then we did the scary bear. That's the third one. And now we did the cat. That's 4. And now the 5th. So it's a lot. It's a long month. I feel like it's a very long month. And I can't wait to get started with something for fall and Christmas. So thank you everyone for being here again. My pleasure to spend time with you, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And I will see you next week, guys. Bye, everyone.